Okay. Alright, today on Photoshop CS6, we're going to show you how to design a quarter page flyer. It's pretty simple. These are the measurements here. The width 4, the height 6, that quarter inch on both of them is the bleed, which you would leave there in a situation where you're going to get your flyer printed out. The resolution is going to be 300. This is important if you're going to get it printed out also, because if you leave this at 72, if you can see right here where it says image size, the size changed dramatically. But when we're at 300, you know, we're in the megabytes now, and that's an easy way to tell if your file is print ready or not. So these are cool. If you want to make it like, you know, horizontal, of course it'd be 6x4 instead of 4x6, but we're gonna roll with the tall up and down one. All right. Since Valentine's Day is the next upcoming holiday, I'll attempt to make a Valentine's Day flyer out of the resources that I saved on my computer, because I currently don't have the internet now, so we'll just try to put together what we can. Let's see, resources. Okay. Oh, cool. Some sexy photos. Naughty neighbor. I wonder what that is. I don't know. Probably use like one of these Lady Gaga's or Rihanna's. Yeah, I think I'll use that. This one here. It's pretty sexy. Okay. So this is the image we're going to use. Bam. It's already cut out for me, so kind of cheating. Sorry, guys. I'll use this as like the basis of our design. Since it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to try to stick to like more warm colors, because you know, warm hues represent love and passion and all those powerful emotions like that. So we'll probably make use maybe like reds or oranges. I don't know. As we're working, we'll change it up. But okay, I just dragged and dropped Rihanna over to my next tab here where our flyer is going to be at. I want to use one of these custom shapes. These are interesting because you can like manipulate them to be like whatever size you want them to be, and they keep the sharpness. They don't like get blurry or anything like that. I know there's probably like a heart on here somewhere, and these are just the default shapes. So if you guys have a Photoshop, you'll have similar ones depending on what version of Photoshop you have. Alright, now when we hold down the shift button, it'll make sure that your heart stays in proportion to size. If you let go of the shift button, it gets like all skewed and stuff like that, you know. So I mean, in this case you can make it like however you would like, but I'm just gonna keep it like the skewed size, and it's gonna automatically just make like a shape thing for me depending on whatever these settings were up here. Alright, now I'm gonna change the fill to like a red color, because as I said, these are the colors that like represent love and passion. Maybe like a darker red, for no specific reason, but I just tend to be more attracted to the darker hues. Let's see. Whoops, sorry. Okay, we're gonna add a layer style. What I did there, sorry for moving too fast, is just double clicked on my shape layer here, or you can go down here and then pick one of your layer styles, you know, individually, but I like to just double click on it, and then the layer style menu pops up. Now everything, you can control the layer with everything up here, like if you want it to be overlay or hue, saturation, all these different blend modes that affect it differently. You can play with them to see what those do if you would like. You can like do bevel and emboss. That'll make it like give it that 3D kind of look. Drop shadows, strokes, inner shadows. I mean, all these different options do different things. I'll probably make a video later on explaining them in more detail, but for now we'll just keep it moving so I can get the design finished. One of my favorite layer styles I like to use is the gradient overlay, just because it kind of like gives whatever layer you're using, you know, the color, it makes the color kind of like have that 2-3 dimensional sort of look to it, or like, you know, at least like a shading effect. And this is cool because like it's like a dark to light kind of effect going on. But I think maybe I want it to be like, if you change the styles here, you can change it to like radial, you can reverse it and, you know, go like that and kind of create like a spotlight sort of effect. And then this is also interesting, if you click here, you can drag the light however you please, you know what I mean? So put it like there. Now I want to add like a little more kind of flashy stuff. My particular style I like to use is like I take the soft brushes and I add like little shiny glows around the subject and stuff like that. Like here, I'll just steal this color real quick and make it a little brighter, like a red. Okay, I'll put it on a new layer here, so I'm not affecting any of these other layers beneath it. I'm just gonna click right here and it's gonna create that kind of red look. Now that doesn't look too pleasant right there, but if we change the blending modes, you can sort of give off that kind of effect that maybe there's a sort of light coming out of the heart and it's so strong that it's, you know, shining over the subject a tad bit. Then we can go like even into the Bevel and Emboss menu. Now this is also interesting trick here that I picked up on. Like when you're messing with the shading here, you can move this around and you can see how it like affects the lighting. And I don't really like the shadow part, so I typically turn the shadow mode off. I just get rid of it because I make my own shadows with like I don't know, there's a couple different ways to do that. I won't get into that now, but now you can see there's like a rim light around Rihanna. What you can also do is like change the light color if you would like to a more red, but I'm gonna actually stick to the white just because it, I don't know, it kind of looks dope like that. It's all artistic direction. There's no right or wrong way to do these things, you know. I'm just, you know, trying to show you guys what different things do as I design this thing here. So you can also like play with the drop shadow, but I think I'll put it like to the left of her like that and soften it up some. But this is the thing here, I want the drop shadow to only be inside the heart, or I want to be able to manipulate the drop shadow separately away from the Rihanna layer. So instead of making one in here, I'm going to uncheck that and then just hit OK. I'm going to duplicate my Rihanna layer by just clicking on it, dragging it down here to the new layer thing. Now I have two of them. I'm going to get rid of the layer effects I had on that one. Now with this, I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue Saturation, and then just turn the color down. Now this essentially here is going to be my drop shadow. I'm going to take this layer and pull it behind Rihanna, and then pull her to the left, pull it to the left a tad bit, move it up some. Now I can manipulate the shadow however I want, and I can have it be, it's just a, you know, whatever opacity I want it to be, and I can also do other things to it. I'll show you in just a second. But what I want to do is make it maybe about this opacity here, and I want to blend it, as I said, into the heart. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to hold down my Control key if you're in Windows. If you're in Mac like me, you're going to be holding down the Apple key, and then I'm just going to click on my shape layer here, bam, to get that outline. Now while I still have my shadow here selected, I'm going to click the layer mask down here, bam. Now it's only showing up inside the heart. Now I feel like this shadow is still too harsh looking, so I'm going to just go to my filters and blur it a little bit like that. Now I like that. As far as maybe perspective goes, it might not be 100% accurate, but for this example, who really cares? Okay, so now I'm gonna add a little bit more depth to the background. I want to duplicate that layer there, and the shortcuts of duplicating layers is Control J or Apple J if you're on a Mac, and then you're gonna push Control I or Apple I just to invert the color. Or if you're the old school type, you want to go through the image adjustments. It takes a little bit more time to do it this way, but image adjustments and then invert, bam, and it'll turn the white layer into a black layer. But what I want to do with this layer here is kind of create sort of another spotlight effect. But I'm going to do it differently this time just to show you that there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, so I'm going to take the opacity down to 85%. You can maybe make it more or less depending on however much of a strength of a shadow you want. And then I'm going to take my soft brush, pull it up really high so I can get a nice large brush. And I'm just going to click here on the layer mask, of course. And you see how it kind of like created that same sort of effect that we did on the heart with the gradient overlay. Bam. And there we go. Now actually, as the more I look at this, the more I want to actually put her inside the heart as well. So just for demo's sake, we'll do that. Stick her inside the heart. Now we're gonna put some sort of text on here. Let's see. Party promoter presents. Typically, when I make party flyers, the promoter or the club owner or whoever is throwing the party, their name goes first. Some of them are a little more proud than others, so a lot of times I'll like make their name bigger than usual. Maybe like this. It's at least bigger than the words around it, so it stands out more. So we can make it like Party Promoter Presents. I'll pull this up a little bit. And a simple clean text that we can all read. I'll name the party Love and Lingerie. Whatever. Okay. Now, of course, I'm probably going to get way fancier with this font. Actually, there's no probably about it. I'm going to take this Love and put it with a separate layer so I can manipulate it as I want. The font I think I'm going to use for Love, it's going to be something a little swirly. Maybe I'm thinking like it's kind of dope. I like that. Love. Wasn't really going for that, but that works. Okay. I'm gonna duplicate this layer just to be quick. Pull it down here. Lingerie. Doesn't look as dope with lingerie, so maybe I'll do a different font for lingerie. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So let's get rid of that. We'll use a more elegant font for lingerie. Like a popular one is Trajan Pro. We'll do that. Excuse me if I'm moving fast, folks. I've been doing this for like almost 10 years now. So I don't know, I'm kind of like used to shortcuts and stuff like that. But just trying to show you guys how to do one of these designs so you can get started on some of your own. Okay, now this is the title, so I'll make it a little obnoxiously large. We'll do it like that. Okay, now parties have a date, Now I like to put the date pretty prominent. Like I'll do, well, why not make it on Valentine's Day? 02 14 14. Maybe I'll do dots instead of. And that goes back to the artistic direction I was talking about earlier. Like, I'm showing you guys how to do this, but there's really no right or wrong way to make a flyer. I mean, of course, there's basic little things you have to follow, such as sizes and bleeds, but for the most part, just be creative. I hope this sparks ideas for you to use, you know, and put some of your own style to it and stuff like that. I'm not sure what day Valentine's Day is on this month, but I think it's on a Friday, so I'll just put Friday. I don't want it to go there. Let's kind of like switch it up a little bit, make something go like sideways or something. I don't know. Put it like right here. Another dope thing that makes flyers stand out is like when you use like the way you use your colors. Now, I'm not the best at picking out color layouts, but typically I try to think of like sports teams and then just steal their color layouts, and that seems to work out fine for me. I want this to kind of shine right here, so I'm just gonna bam, hit it with the white brush real quick and pull that opacity down. I don't know, it just looks better like that to me. Let me see if I can make this look any doper by messing with the blend mode. Multiply. It's kind of sweet. Okay. What if I, instead of a white one, brushed it with a red one? See how I'm still applying the same principles? I actually use these in a lot of my flyers if you keep up with my videos. Yeah, that's a lot more interesting. The only thing I'm not really feeling is you can't see the love thing. So let's try this. Okay, that's cool. Just because this is bothering me, I don't really like this font, I'll change it to Trajan, since that's what we use below. Then move this down some. Okay. Dope. And this is basically how, you know, this would be a great flyer. Like, the average party promoter would love this, I would say, and he'd be like, oh, this is good enough. But I had a few more details. Like, of course, more information would go in here, such as like the location. I like to put the date and the location fairly big so that people know when the party is and they know where it's gonna be at. And I'll just stick to this stair kind of thing I got going here, I guess. Location, and then like other things that typically go in here, like address of the location. I usually put that like underneath it, smaller, because people in today's world, you can just Google the name and it'll pop up and you can get the GPS, but put the address just in case. What are some other elements we can add to this? I don't know. Let's see what type of resources we got in the pile here. There's another picture of Rihanna. Mockups, music, photo, picture frame, smoke and fire. Ooh, smoke and fire. I'm a big fan of using smoke in designs. Okay, I'll just drag this into my Photoshop app. Bam, I'm just gonna just throw it on there like that. Actually, I'm gonna resize it so that it covers the whole flyer. I click this chain link up here because, well, you know, you wanna make it the right size proportionately. And then I'm just gonna set it to screen, because what screen does is it gets rid of all the dark coloring behind images. So bam, now I got like my smoke texture over it. It just adds another layer of depth. Maybe I'll put it behind Rihanna. Wow, that's interesting. Here, let's do. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this layer. So now that we have 2 smoke layers, this one, I'll flip it. I'm sorry for all the shortcuts. Control T or Apple T to shortcut to the free transform. We're gonna right click and flip it horizontally to kind of like give the illusion that the smoke isn't just freaking one big picture. There we go. And then, I mean, obviously we'd have to take this and brush away some of the top, because the smoke would be leaving the top of the hearts and then going in from the bottom. Looks like it's too much smoke though, so we'll pull it back some. Yeah, that's cool right there. Okay, Love and Lingerie. See what type of brushes we got in my collection. Brushes are pretty simple, easy to find. You can just Google them. I found a lot of great brushes on DeviantArt that are free. Just Google, say for instance you're looking for paint splatters, just Google paint splatter brushes and you'll find plenty of free ones to use that'll do you just great. We're gonna use like some red paint splatters on here a little bit, not the whole border like I usually do. That's too bright of a red for me, so I'm gonna make it dark with the multiply. That's cool like that. Maybe a little bit of these could actually double up as blood splats as well. Ha ha ha. On like a Halloween joint or something like that. Just kind of doing this to give it more depth and complexity. I think I said that word right. I don't know, but yeah, the more layers and the more intricate you make your designs, as far as like how you blend the layers together, the better it'll look. And sometimes, a lot of times, you know, one layer, or not one layer, but only a few layers, and it does the trick. It doesn't always have to be a lot of layers. I just want to use a fair amount just to show you guys some different effects and stuff. All right, as you can see, is I'm taking the shape overlay and I just went back to the layer style menu. I'm adding a drop shadow to it, and the reason I click this global light thing off is because if you don't, it'll affect the lighting on everything. You see how it's like changing the light on Rihanna, sort of, when I move it too far over to the right or the left. So I take that off and I just move it around as I want to. But realistically, you would probably want to leave the global light thing on if you're gonna handle all of your lighting and stuff through the layer style menu. I don't know, depends on how you do it. Okay, let's make party promoter stand out a little more. I'll take another one of these splat brushes, or not a splat, but like a brush stroke. We'll just put it like right here for now. Okay, say it's like not the right size, right? We just go edit, free transform, and then make it the right size, whatever size we want it to be, right? It's the power of Photoshop. Okay. I'm gonna go to the layer style menu with this, and I don't want it to be black, so I'll just add a color layer overlay to it and make it like a dark red. And then I'll make this white, so that's better viewed. Okay. I would like to also add some type of texture and one more texture on here in the background, just because it just looks too clean for me. I kind of want this to have a dirty, grimy, rugged look, so maybe I'll add like a, I don't know, I wish I had like a lingerie texture. I would add that there, but like stockings or something. Fill water, spoons, vectors, textures. What's in here? Oh, one texture. Cool. Well, since it's in here, we'll use that. Why not? Bring it up some. Oh, okay, I see. We'll use this on the heart, kind of. We'll give it that same mask and then set it to like screen. I don't know. Maybe we could put it in front of Riri. Yep. Okay, we're going to layer mask and like kind of. Whoa, hold on. I'm gonna pull this down some because it didn't extend all the way to the bottom like I needed it to. Okay. All right, now I still want a texture to go. The background. Why not use like a brick texture? Or maybe, I don't know, this one's kind of cool. I'll drop this on here, see how big I can make it. Very nice texture. I'll drag it all the way down to the bottom by clicking on the layer and just pulling it down. Oh wow, I like that. Just by itself like that is cool, but I think I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Set it to multiply. Alright, I mean that's pretty much it as far as flyers go. I could keep going and, you know, keep adding layers to the design, making it more and more intricate and interesting. Obviously I would have put a little bit more time and effort into it had it been like a client design or something like that, but I just wanted to give you guys a basic rundown on how you could make a dope flyer for Valentine's Day, just using a few images and some layers in Photoshop, layer styles in Photoshop. If you got any questions, you can leave them below in the YouTube comments. Any comments, I'll take those as well. I'll try to answer everything in a timely manner as fast as I can. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace.